Let's recommend please protect the program. Good evening, everybody. This is the Encounter Show, late night. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show. Shell Bell, everybody coming in here. Blessings to everybody out there. Hey, April, good to see you. What really, Matt? Welcome. Good to have you with us, George Purdue. Everyone out there, wherever you are around the world, all over the planet Earth, welcome to the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome. Greetings, Jay Go. Greetings, everybody. Cynthia, everybody coming in here. Happy Monday is right, for sure. Monday is almost over. Julie, everyone in Virginia, Fen, everybody, God loves you. Welcome. Ashley, everybody out there. This is CmdrAleon, the man from Mars, here to just basically bust the matrix on the planet, bust all belief systems, and get the planet elevated to complete disclosure and complete understanding. It's going to be a great show tonight. We're just getting geared up here and kind of amped up here. Hey, Pinell, good to see you. You say you are from Mars. Yes, God loves you. We came from Mars originally to Earth. That would be considered like the definition of a starseed. So I came from Mars and had Earth-based parents. My Earth-based parents have long passed. They're no longer here. So yes. For all relatives, good to see you. Paranormal Ghostbusters, we're doing well. I hope you are as well. And good to have everybody with us here. And we're just getting started, folks. And on this show, you never know what's going to happen. It's just really the truth. And we will eventually be taking guests on here, so please be relax, everybody. We're not doing the guest things yet. We are going to. Need help with flooding in Minnesota. I've heard about the flooding. Not too much I can do with that part of it, but I do pray that it stops. Richard, welcome. Guardian, I live in Minnesota. Guardian, well, I hope you're doing okay. Dina, good evening. Hey, Johnny. Good to have you with us. Desmond, Oreo 430. I'm just reading some of the things in here. I've been watching your videos a lot. Thank you, Paranormal. Everyone coming in here, welcome to the show. Hello, Deborah. Hey, C Dubs. Welcome. All the new people that are just finding our show for the first time, you're watching an actual talk show, believe it or not. I am host of WESU-FM's Cosmic Eye Radio for 21 years on NPR Pacific Radio. Weed Wolf says, do these invisible ships see me when they fly over my house? If you have ships flying over your house, the beings inside the ships do see you. And we'll actually bring you on as soon as I start doing guest interviews. You'll be my first guest. When we do the interviews tonight, folks, as always, you must be over 18. No kids on camera, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs, none of that stuff. Again, the program, no paranormal discussion. And again, no kids, no vaping, no smoking, all that jazz. Just to let people know. Let's see here. So it's good to have everybody with us. And we will have some great interviews, I'm sure, tonight. And I know there are people that have great stories to tell. And we will get to those in just a little bit. The way it works again, hey, Papa Smurf, if you want to be a guest on Encounters, you've got to be, number 1, over 18. Number 2, no kids on camera. Number 3, no smoking of any sort. I don't care if it's vaping, whatever it might be. No, that's a no-no on my show. No drugs, no drinking whatsoever. No paranormal discussion, no cursing. And just basically no paranormal discussion and just keeping focused on what the show's about, which is the galactic cosmic areas. It could be you have sightings of spaceships that are happening where you are. You might have been a contactee. You've been contacted by different space people in a positive way. Maybe you're a person that has been 10 years ago that had an abduction experience, and we can help you with that. If you help you stop having it, or maybe you had it and it's been on your mind for a long time. Maybe you've seen crop circles. Maybe you have fairies or mer people or Bigfoots. There's so many things in this discussion area of encounters, and we want to always keep it focused, like laser focused. So we stay away from the paranormal. I've seen some really good people out there on TikTok that are doing paranormal. That's just not to hear, so we don't do any of that. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you. Blessings to you. So, we have a certain protocol. Miss D, welcome. And we keep it that way, just like my radio show for 21 years, strictly on dedication to the Ashtar and my show Cosmic Eye Radio, 21 years in 2024, my 21st year on NPR radio. So, and also, not only am I from Mars, as I mentioned, for new people, I come here from Mars. I am also with the Ashtar Galactic Command, or Ashtar Command, so I'm not your normal UFO nuts and bolts talk show host. I don't have people in suits. I don't wear a suit. Plus, I'd be claustrophobic if I did wear one. And I'm just me. I'm just who I am, and that's the way it should be, right? So there you go. So we could be getting into a lot of stuff. Things are definitely happening as planned. I was just thinking about my friends like Johnny and Chesno and Kit Kat, and I'm going to try to get them all together, and I'm gonna do get them all on live together, and with April one night, we're gonna get them on together. Maybe we'll do that Saturday night. We'll try to get everyone together on the show, because Chesno, Johnny, who's one of my moderators, Kit Kat, and April, who's been on the ship over plus 30 times. We are part of a group of 5 people together that will be eventually going off planet on one of the Ashtar Command ships. Chelsea, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I didn't even set my goals here. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that very much. I'm going to pin the Knight's. I love the Knight's helmet. So there are 5 of us that are going to be going together. Mab says, how do I balance my time with being a commander? It works out pretty well. I'm very socially active. I have my Ashtar Command groups on Facebook, and those have been around for a number of years. I have 2 Ashtar groups on Facebook, so I'm involved in multimedia that way. I have my broadcasts here, my YouTube channel. By the way, if you go to Ashtar Command Spaceship News, you can watch last Saturday night's show. If you missed last Saturday night's show, you'll hear breaking news that I think you'll find very important to know. Many of you already know what's happening. Many of you who are new might not know what's happening. But definitely check that out. JP Young says, I want to escape Earth. So the good news is that you really don't want to have to escape anywhere. What people that, I've met many people, be it on Facebook or here, that they've had it, they want to just escape or leave Earth. But we're here to liberate the planet. So this is really a beautiful planet, believe it or not. The only thing not beautiful are the people that have tried in power to pollute the air, pollute our waters, and do things against the planet that are not positive, so to speak. But you don't want to leave the planet. We're here to transform the planet. That's why we came to Earth. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Hey, Casey. Oh, good there, UFO UAP. Your first telescope for UFO hunt. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Let's see, I'm just reading people's things. No problem. It's been my pleasure to come to Earth to help. I'm not the only one here. If I was the only one here to help the planet Earth, we'd have a problem. But thank God there are many of you out there that are doing your own diligence to help the planet, right? Many of you are here helping the planet. All I'm doing is on my radio show and here, utilizing the media to help the planet on a much more wider scale. But everyone's doing it. Danny, welcome to the show, Folklore Paranormal. I want to live in a better world, no crimes, no drama, no sickness. And we will be there. We will definitely get there. So it's something that we will all make it happen together. I'm always about we, not me. If it was about me, that's ego. It's about we. It's about all of us, right? Guardian says, can you explain the beings and the treaty with the American government? So aren't any grays? The Zeta Reticuli made an agreement with President Eisenhower. That was when I was a kid. And the agreement was President Eisenhower had the ability to make a choice. He knew the truth and he knew what the choice could be. He decided to, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the advisors or whatever happened, but President Eisenhower decided to go with the Zeta and let the Zeta, experiment and abduct human beings. In return, the Zeta gave the government reverse engineer technology that they had. That was the agreement. But General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, he also met with the Ashtar Command. Okay? And he knew that if he had gone with the Ashtar Command back when he met with the two different space groups, this planet would have been so much better if he had done that. But Eisenhower did not do that. Eisenhower chose to go with the technology because there were people advising him that we needed the technology, and therefore he made the wrong decision. So that's what started 70 years of a cover-up regarding the whole thing with intelligent life in the universe. They deceived us. I don't get into aging. I don't believe in the aging process. I actually have done workshops where I teach people how not to focus on numbers and on aging, so I don't really get into that. Eisenhower's gone now. What's happening now, if you've been watching the show, there is disclosures going on every day on this program. If you've been following our Saturday night, what was originally Friday, but Saturday night gatherings of the Ashtar Command Q&A, and also during the show here, many people are sharing their experiences, so disclosure is you. We're not waiting for the government to disclose anything. Disclosure is all of you. You are disclosure. If you're looking for a specific government to finally tell you the truth, I got to remind you that you are the ones that are making disclosure. When you video record and document a spaceship sighting that's happening for weeks in your neighborhood, or you're out in the country somewhere, and you're saying, Commander, why am I seeing the same colorful ship for a whole week? Because you're being contacted by some space group from beyond Earth. I've had people tell me this, and I'll tell them straight out, that's what's going on. And then people are going to say, well, when are we going to have disclosure? Disclosure is not coming from governments. I have to remind people, do not wait for anything to happen from any government in the world. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be little bits and pieces of nothingness. You hear me? Little bits and pieces of nothingness, meaning, they'll give you a little bit of a worm on a hook. It's a little piece of that worm. And people can say, oh, wow, look, they gave us a little bit of that worm. Oh, that's really wild. Look at that worm. But they're never going to give you the whole worm. They never do, they never will, and they never have for over 70 years. And even now, never going to happen. So if you want to see disclosure, it's going to happen on this show right here. It's already happening. Alicia hey, Alicia. Yeah, it was a sad decision. It was a different time. Yeah, over half a century. Yeah, Ring, absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, it is. And Alicia's right. Many people are having encounters, are having contact. A lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there that don't even have internet. They could be in a small village in Scandinavia. They could be in some little village in China. They could be in the mountains in Russia or in India. There are people all over the world that are having contact. We just don't know who they are. For those of you who have internet capabilities or phones and smartphones, you can come here and say, oh, I just recorded a spaceship that was beautiful, or I just had visitation by these space people, or, that's disclosure. You are disclosure. Every one of you. How can I expose to the masses about structured living water? Can you explain what you mean by structured living water? Yeah, Tony, the drip by drip so-called disclosure is really basically a farce. When the Pentagon a couple of years ago said, "Oh, we're starting this website where people in different departments of the Pentagon can come forward, Navy, Air Force, whatever," and then they showed those little black and white clips from the Air Force jets that they recorded, and they said, "Here we are. This is disclosure. We just did it. Aren't you happy? We gave you disclosure." We did the disclosure. We gave you the disclosure. We told you the truth. Now everyone can go back to sleep. Get on with your lives. Go back to work. Go watch the game shows at night. Go watch the football game. Oh, the hockey game? Watch that instead. Or watch an old movie from the 50s or something. But we gave you the disclosure. We told you. We told you the truth. Now you want more? We just told you the truth. You want more? You expect more from us? Who do you think you are, public? You expect more from us? We're supposed to tell you the truth? Yes? Really? What I'm saying is, folks, when disclosure from the Pentagon started happening and the UFO hearings in Washington happened, and for just a tiny, tiny moment, I started to say, oh, there's really going to be disclosure. We're really going to have some disclosure. We're going to have all this stuff coming out. These retired people, these people that high security, they're all going to start coming forward. But you know what? The Pentagon put the kibosh on it. There's fighting in the Pentagon. It's going on between generational fighting between the old people that don't want the people to know anything, and generational fighting, which is with the younger generation that is wanting to see change. And there's a real fight going on. We don't see it. You don't see it, but it does exist. There is friction in these governments, in the Ministry of Defense in England. I am sure the younger generation is conflicted with the older generation who's been part of the worldwide cover-up regarding the existence of intelligent life in the universe. It's absolutely true. It's real. If you don't believe it's real, then you need to wake up. Okay? The commander's getting amped up here. We're going to have a good show. We're already having a good show tonight. But it's only going to get better and better and better. So Guardian says, you're having trouble with the Zeta? Guardian, we're definitely going to help you. Guardian, I think tonight we're going to help you. And we are going to get rid of the Zeta. I don't see a guest request right now, so we're going to start taking guest interviews. So I'm going to start with Guardian. We're going to go into our Ashtar command mode, folks. If you know what I mean when I say I'm going into Ashtar command mode, what does that mean? I'm in the talk show host mode. I'll still be the talk show host, but what am I going to do now? Now that I know somebody is being harassed by Zeta Reticuli beings. If you've watched this show, you know what I can do. I don't personally do it, but you know what I can do. You know that I am in contact with our space brothers and sisters. You know that they are watching this show every night from their monitoring screens. They know what's going on. They do. And if you watch my show long enough, you know that everything I am able to do, I am able to do. I don't have any hocus pocus. I'm not throwing a crystal ball in the air and trying to catch it. I'm not using a pendulum, closing my eyes and saying, oh, let me look at the pendulum go around. I don't have neon lights behind me. I'm not wearing a bandana saying, I'm now going to read your story of your life. No, I don't do that because I am not from here. I'm fully conscious, fully awakened, and getting downloads constantly. So we're going to do something for you, Guardian. We're going to bring you up here, man. You'll be our first guest. I want to hear your story. And when I hear your story, I'm going to help you. And when I get done, you're not going to have any more problems with the Zeta on this program. We're going to help you as I've helped many people over the months on this program that have told their abduction stories. So we're going to help you tonight. So Guardian, press the multi-guest option. There's a multi-guest option, Guardian. You'll see the little multi-guest thing on your screen, like little people. It says host, guests. Just press that. Press the multi-guest option, and Guardian will bring you up on our show, and we will help you. Guaranteed. And we're going to help you. Something happened, Angie says, last night. She says the room lit up like the TV was on, but it wasn't, and I had been moved. Angie, we're going to have you on about that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let me see here. God loves you. We'll bring you on as well. I want to help the person that's been abducted. Guardian, can you press the guest option? Do you know where it is on your phone? If you're on TikTok, which you are, there's an option, a multi-guest option. Can you press that? It's right on your phone, Guardian. Are you still with me? Let's see. Scott, I think he wants to be a guest earlier too. I'm going to start doing interviews. I'm going to randomly select the pink and blue people. We're going to bring Angie up too tonight. There's a few people I'm going to bring up. I'm going to be doing a couple interviews here. And I see kind of interesting things happening with people here. So we need to find out what's happening, find out what's going on here. Let's see. Okay, Guardian, are you with us? Guardian was in there before. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. Marine, welcome. Marine is one of our other moderators. We appreciate that. Okay. All right. We're going to go with God Loves You because they're the first one in the guest list here. If you want to be a guest on the show, look at the guest guest option on your TikTok, and you'll be on the list. I'm going to go with that person first. Again, you have to be over 18. No paranormal discussion, no drinking, no drugs, no smoking of any sort, no kids on the screen, no cursing or foul language. And again, of course, no paranormal discussion. Did I leave anything out? I don't think so. Okay, we're going to bring this person on. Let's see what happens with TikTok here tonight. God loves you. Welcome to Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much for having me and talking to me. I appreciate that. This is the first time I've even heard about you or your group, so I'm totally in the dark as to what you guys are all about and what you guys are doing. I mean, you've told me you're from Mars, but I'm having a hard time believing that because NASA can't seem to find any life on Mars. So I'm trying to figure out how all this works.
Oh, good. I'm actually really excited you came here and you found the show. So I'm a very transparent person, so I'll answer very honestly why I'm from Mars. And I'm glad you found the program. So welcome. And what's your first name?
David,
Hey, David. Nice to meet you. Good to
it's
meet
my
you.
pleasure, sir.
So, yeah. So when I say I'm from Mars, I was born on Earth. I am human. I work like everybody else. I have a normal life. But I remember coming here from Mars. And when I came here, I lived in Long Island when I was a kid. And when I came here, I had an experience, and I will tell this story. It's for new people. I went up after dinner. My brother, my mother, and father were in the kitchen after dinner. I was guided to go upstairs for no apparent reason. I go into my brother's room, go past my room. I lived in a cul-de-sac back in the 60s, early 60s. And I ended up opening the wooden blinds up, and there is a spaceship, what you call like a flying saucer type craft with windows hovering above the cul-de-sac. It was on a warm night, and it was like almost like a light energy around this craft, like a radiant energy force field or something. And when I was looking out the window, I see men and women and children wearing light blue spacesuits. They were human like us. They didn't look like monsters or Hollywood version of what a person from another world looks like. And they were telepathic, and they communicated with me at that time and told me I wasn't from here. Now, as I was still a kid after that experience, I was playing baseball with my friends. I love baseball. I was playing like a stickball. And out of the blue moon, I say to my two friends, I say, I'm from Mars. Now, what kid would ever, blurt out of the blue moon, they're from Mars? I'm like, okay, what did I just do? I'm a kid, I'm having a kid's life growing up in the 60s and a normal life, right? Then all this stuff happens, the ship, the beings, then I went kind of underground with it for a long time until I became an adult. I had more experiences. I had many sightings of spaceships, what people call UFOs, all my life, so these experiences kind of challenged my belief systems about who I was. I knew I was still human. I enjoy going out like anybody else, used to go to hockey games and all these things. But there was another thing going on that I didn't understand until I got older. So when I got older, I became activated. I remembered that on Mars, there are 10 to 15 million inhabitants. And what I'm here to do is teach people, and I'm glad you're here, David, is I bust the matrix of belief systems. I tell people, don't believe what NASA tells you because they've lied for just as long as the Pentagon has, for over 70 years. They've lied forever. So I'm here to educate people about the truth, that there's a lot of people, not just me, a lot of people, my audience, guests I've had over since last year, people that are telling me they remember coming from another planet. That's called, the definition of that is a starseed. So if you've never heard the word starseed, it means that, yeah, they all have human parents. We all have brothers and sisters, uncles, aunts, whatever. We all have people we've married, gone to weddings, all the normal stuff. But the one thing that's different is that we remember that we are from somewhere else. We're not from here. We came here, but we're not from here.
Where did we come from originally?
We came from off planet. So, for example, you have biological. My parents, they're no longer here. My mother passed away a number of years ago. My father passed away before that. They're not here anymore. But we have biological cosmic family parents, which are from some other planet, somewhere beyond Earth. So it does. I don't expect you to know that that's something you've experienced or because we forget. We're coming here to forget. We come here to forget, and then we have to come here to remember who we are. So we come here purposely to forget and have the human experience, and then we forget the cosmic you, which is you beyond Earth. So you have a cosmic you, and you have a body, what we call stasis. The body in stasis is on a spaceship. Now, it's just something beyond something that NASA would tell you or anybody knows or, whatever. But everybody has a body in stasis. Now, they might say, well, how do I know that? You don't know that because you're not even aware of it. But the body in stasis is your real space body. Now, that space body is human, but that space body, if you were to go back to it and activate that body, you have more abilities than you do as a human being. So it's not something that you're going to learn in school. I never learned it in school, and I grew up in the 60s. You're never going to be taught this stuff because they don't know this stuff. The teachers don't know this stuff. The science teachers don't know this stuff. There might be a few that are aware of things like this, that are open to it, but the fact is that we've been lied to all our lives about where we come from and who we are. We're told that we come from here, that we evolved from some amoeba in the ocean, that we were a fish and we became like an ape, and then we became a human. All that stuff is pure lies. It's stuff that
I
was
know that.
done to us. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is the narrative that I grew up with. This is the stuff, even when I was a kid, I said, there's something wrong with that theory. And but then when I had the sightings and saw the space people in the ship when I was a kid, prior to my teenage years, that threw me right off the roof, so to speak. I ended up realizing that there's something else going on here. I'm being visited by people from another world. They're telling me I'm not from here. I kept it to myself for a long time, but 30 years later, in 2024, a lot of people you'll find as you watch this show will tell you that they are from somewhere else. They remember who they are. They're remembering that they come from somewhere. You yourself, David, you don't have to remember it now. I don't expect you to know it because it's just all new to you. But if you watch my show and continue to watch it, you're going to see so many people that have had experiences that are from somewhere else. And it's pretty amazing. There's a lot more people than you think that are starting, that have normal lives. They might work in an office, like Clark Kent and, whatever, Superman. So look at it like the Clark Kents are out there working, Mr. and Mrs. Clark Kent. But in actuality, the ones that are waking up know that they're from some other world. And that's called being a starseed. The definition of that is a starseed. You have your cousins, your relatives here, but you also have cosmic biological parents that someday you're going to meet. You haven't met them yet. You don't even know who they are, and that's perfectly fine, but you will eventually meet them.
Well, I have a question for you. I mean, I can trace my genealogy back a couple of thousand years. And
Yeah,
if I've been here for a couple of thousand years, never been to another planet, and my ancestors, as far as I know, they haven't been to other planets, how can I have a memory of being from another planet?
because you're just doing a biological research of the history of your earth-based ancestry. You can't do a research of your cosmic ancestry. That has to do with waking up. So basically right now you're waking up. The fact that you're talking to me right now is the beginning of asking questions, which I think is great that you're asking me these questions, because that means you're going to eventually you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up. You're already waking up the fact that you're here. You're going to wake up as time goes on, and it's not like a race to the track. Into the tracks, like, okay, you better get to the finish line, and you'll win a trophy. It's nothing. There's no rush. You're going to wake up just by being here and conversing with me, and me having a great conversation with you. That's the beginning of waking up. It's not about having ancestry from thousands of years that you can actually go through ancestry.com, whatever. That's earth-based ancestry. We're talking about remembering that you come from somewhere else. And that takes time. That means as you're a living, breathing human being, you now have the ability to wake up the consciousness, the cosmic consciousness within you, and you will do it. You're not going to do it in 2 minutes. You're not going to do it right here. But I'm just really excited that you're asking me these questions.
Okay, you've said a whole lot that I'm going to have to process and digest.
Right. Take your
Um,
time with it.
I appreciate the fact that you're doing this show, trying to wake people up to what's going on. I would like to learn more about what you do as a commander. I mean, what's really going on as far as that goes? I mean, I don't know about all these alien races and all the different races that are out there. I've done some research in it, and they say there's multiple races of aliens here on Earth. Um, and I don't know how true any of that is, or
Hmm.
what their purpose is. I mean, you got the reptiles and you got the Nordax, I think they're called, and you got a bunch of other races. Some are
Hmm.
peaceful, and
Hmm.
the others are eating humans. I don't know if any of that's true. Can you verify that stuff? Is that what's really going on?
Yes, so I'm glad you are asking me some excellent questions, David. So I'm going to break it down in little areas here. So, for example, I work with a group called the Ashtar Command. The Ashtar Command is actually like the United Nations of the universe. So, if you take the United Nations for an example, and you have all these countries together that represent little countries, big countries, different languages, nationalities, people on Earth that are indigenous tribes in different countries, all these different things make up the umbrella, like a rainbow of many different things in what you call United Nations. We all know that is a world body on this one planet. If you go off planet, there's a thing called the Ashtar Command or Ashtar Galactic Command, which represents all the positive beings throughout the multiverse, meaning that they are the spiritual beings of light. They are Christed beings of light, not in the earth-based term or 3D, the word Christ. Christ consciousness, Christed beings or people that live in harmony with the Creator. And so the Ashtar Command would be that representation of humans from all the different planetary systems beyond Earth. In terms of the reptilians and many of the Zeta were the ones that have been doing abductions and causing havoc on our planet for a very long time, way before current human existence. So they've been actually here hiding. They're being rounded up. They're being rounded up by the people I work with which is the Ashtar Command. So the Ashtar Command, if you can grasp this, and I know I'm giving a lot of information here to you, is actually the positive space people, the human space people, the spiritual beings of light. They have families on their own planets, just like us. They don't have shopping malls. They don't have pollution. They don't have all the crazy stuff that we have on our planet. They totally different in harmonious relationship with the Creator. All these other planets that are of peace live in that harmonious union with the Creator. It's a very beautiful thing. So in terms of the Zeta, they all do exist. There's many different races out there that do exist, but the Zeta are being captured. I've had people, I'm going to probably bring this person up if we can find him. He wanted to come up. He's been terrified. He's been having abductions, or he's been terrified. He's been having interactions with the Zeta. I think the reptilians of the Zeta, whichever the one that we're going to help that person. I've helped many people on this show from where I am here who have had problems. And so to answer your question, there's positive, mostly 90% of what's out there is positive. There are a few ET races that exist that have tried to wreak havoc over millions of years on planet Earth. And now that's coming to an end. They are being rounded up, what you call the abduction scenario on the planet, all that stuff. They're being basically taken to a holding pattern, and they're being taken off planet not to come back here. They've been causing havoc for too many people, and they've been involved in also creating problems for the whole planet in general. So that's coming to an end. So, but go ahead. I'm all ears here. I love your questions.
Okay, I got a question concerning religion. What do you think about Christianity? Is that a path that'll take you to the Creator?
I think all religions are going to have to be abolished because religions control people. To get to the path of being with the Creator has nothing to do with being in a religion, being in a mosque, being in a temple, being in a small little church or whatever. That is all earth-based man-made religions. They are basically made to control people on earth, just like world governments are made to control people on earth. It wasn't meant to liberate people. It's meant to control the population.
So
In
what
terms
is
of,
so
so
what is the path to the Creator?
is basically that there is a creator, which is called God, and God is the creator of all the universe, not just Earth. People, we are living here, so we think about Earth, but think in a wider situation of God being the creator of every single planetary system, all life forms, everywhere in the multiverse, in a more expansive way of God. And Christ is real. Jesus himself is real, but Jesus has been made to be something he is not on the planet Earth. Religions took Jesus and distorted who he was. I have a friend, and she's been taken off planet over 30 plus times. And this will probably blow your mind because we've all been taught, from that the fact that Jesus was on a cross and he was nailed to a cross, and that's the history that we understand based on Earth. But in truth, Jesus is a space being. She's actually met Jesus a couple of times in what we call council meetings on a spaceship. Now, this will blow people's minds because you won't hear about this, in your churches, your temples, or in your earth-based schools. They don't talk about Jesus that way because it's a control mechanism to teach people that Jesus was this way when Jesus was not that way at all. Jesus is a very beautiful, funny space person who has a sense of humor and was not, hanging on a cross, for 2,000 years or whatever. It's all based on the misinterpretation and misunderstanding of who this Jesus was. Jesus is a being. He's a Christed being of light. I would say I'm a Christed. There's many people in my audience will say they're Christed beings of light. What that means is we are all Christed beings of light. When Jesus came to earth, he came to earth to liberate the planet. He went to the lost teachings of India. He went to the indigenous tribes of North America. If you watch the Hollywood movies, Jesus was in the Roman Empire, and that's where he was like locked into Rome, and that's what was going on. All that garbage on TV is so much not true and all misinformation. I know it blows a lot of people's minds, but we're all part of God's creation. Yes, so I'm a very loving people. I'm a Christed being of light. Where I came from, my planetary system, where I came from, they all have spiritual connections to the Creator, which is God.
Okay.
So all of us I really love God because God created the whole multiverse. God is beautiful. God is light. God is all the beautiful things But on earth, earth-based religions use God in a very negative way, and many religions do because they're made by man. You know,
Well,
it's a distortion.
Christianity, as far as I know of Christianity, doesn't operate in a negative way. It teaches to love your neighbor, love God, and love
Right,
your enemies, and all these other
right,
things. It
right.
also
That part is
teaches us that
true.
Jesus rose from the dead. Did Jesus rise from the dead after he was
No,
crucified?
no, there was no crucifixion. No, this is going to blow people's minds. He was never crucified. He didn't rise from the dead. He never died. Jesus came here and he ascended back on a spaceship in the clouds. He never died. You know, these people that wrote these books, they distorted the truth about who he was. They couldn't figure out how to describe him. All the pharaohs, all these people, all these religious leaders, they didn't like him because he came here he is a star seed. So, for example, many people here in my audience are star seeds. They'll tell you, okay, I have earth-based parents. A star seed is what Jesus was. He became born as a baby. He took on a human life, you know, whatever that was. Just like I have a human life and I work every day, and many of my audience here, they might be teachers, they might work in a restaurant, they might be a bartender, whatever it is. And they say, oh, I'm a starseed, I came from so and so. So Jesus was a starseed. He came as a baby. He had parents, human parents. His parents passed on. And then Jesus finally, as he got older, he was activated. And then he did what he did. And then he left the planet. And a lot of these so-called people in control of religions, whether it was Judaism or Hebrew or whatever, it makes no difference. Their whole thing was to put fear into people's heads that this Jesus person was no good, that this Jesus person, if you listen to him, the planet's going to go and fall apart. You know, these were the people that wanted to keep the control. Just like now in present day Earth, religions do that. The Pentagon lying about the fact that there's intelligent life in the universe for over 70 years of a cover up. It's all connected. Religion, the lies to the public about the existence of life elsewhere in the universe, it is all interrelated. It's all lies. It's all been done on purpose to get people to be asleep and to believe what they're told. Yes, in Christianity, the essence of it is love. You're absolutely correct. I studied Christianity. I went into a Christian life. I was born in the Jewish religion, but I wanted to see what the Christian religion was. I was able to speak in tongues. I learned how to do that. Then when I did that, I said, what is that all about? I learned how to speak in tongues. And I said, oh, that has nothing to do with religion. And I felt I was speaking Chinese or something. The speaking in tongues did nothing to do with religion. It was misinterpreted. It's a language, but
Yes, it
religion
is.
used it. It's a language.
Speaking in tongues is from the Bible. I speak in tongues, and I have since I was 11 years old.
Uh,
Speaking in
yeah,
tongues radically changed my life. I mean, I've
yeah.
had the love of God come into me in a very powerful way and take
Well,
me off
good.
my feet and lay me out on the ground. And I've had every cell in my body filled with
Yeah,
the intense, warm love of God on four
yeah.
separate occasions. I mean, and I don't see any of this in Christianity that I've experienced in Christianity as being destructive to the earth in
No,
any way. It's beneficial.
no, no. And I'm agreeing with you. What you're saying is true, but I'm saying there are not, in your experience, that's beautiful, David. But in totality, growing up as a kid, there have been people that have created their own religions that have been detrimental to using it, saying, oh, you know, the dollar bill, like God's on the dollar bill, you know, in God we trust. You know, God's not on a dollar bill. What's God doing on a dollar bill? Like the thing is, basically, what your story is beautiful. Now, when I learned to speak in tongues, I did that on purpose to experience it. What happened to me is I had a cosmic awakening from that experience. I learned from speaking in tongues that was an intergalactic language, which had nothing to do whether I was Jewish speaking in tongues, whether I was Chinese, whether I was Christian, Catholic, whatever. I deciphered what speaking in tongues was an intergalactic language, universal. It had nothing to do with being Christian or anything. But see, people think it has to do with what specific language, like a religion, but it's a light language. Ashley's actually correct on my viewers here. The speaking in tongues is a light language of a high vibration. That's why you felt such bliss from it, because it's a beautiful language. And I can still speak in tongues. I don't do it now, but I had a beautiful experience just like you did. So yeah, it's a very beautiful
Well,
thing.
Well, I mean, when I got baptized in the Holy Spirit, let me give you this experience for real quick. I remember it like it happened yesterday. I was in a Pentecostal church, and the pastor gave the altar call, and I said, God, I want everything that you have for me. And he came over to me and said, do you believe you received the Holy Spirit when I lay my hands on you? And I said, yes, I do. He said, according to your faith, so be it unto you. In the name of Jesus Christ, receive the Holy Spirit. He laid his hand on my head, and I felt this very warm,
Mm-hmm.
intense love enter
Mm-hmm.
into my head, and it literally rolled through every cell of my body down to my feet
Yeah.
and came back
Yeah.
up. And when it came back up to my chest, I started speaking in a different language. And that's how I got
Yeah.
baptized in the Holy Spirit. And that was my first intense encounter with God.
Yeah.
And
No,
I,
I believe you. I believe what you're saying. You're speaking from the heart. Not everybody does. Your experience came truly from love in the heart, and your whole energy. I read energy. Your energy is pure love. You love everybody, don't you?
yes, I
You
do.
care. I know you do. I know you do. And you're a pure being of light. So as you watch my show, there's nothing we disagree with because I also believe in God. My experience was speaking in tongues when I went there with another friend of mine. I had the most beautiful experience learning about that. And it's a light language. Basically, it has nothing to do with religion. Speaking in tongues is an ancient language that comes from the stars. But if, there are some Christian places that do speak in tongues and people have those beautiful experiences. So for you, I think it was a very beautiful thing. You happen to be in a good place with good people that are doing that. I think that's a beautiful thing, David.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a whole lot more questions I have, but I don't, you
Yeah.
probably want to go on to other people. So,
Well, I'm glad you came up here. You're now a friend of the show. We had a great discussion. You always can come back and ask me questions. I'm very transparent here, very honest here, and I appreciate your sharing your questions. I think they were great.
well, I've enjoyed our conversation immensely. I think you're a good man, and I have a lot to go through to process, but uh, that's what I like about you. You're very intelligent, and you're doing something that is unique. It's my first exposure to you and what you're doing, so I have a lot to learn yet. Thank you very much for talking to me and having me on your show.
Hey, David, we appreciate it. Everyone give a hand of applause to David. Another beautiful being, another viewer, a new viewer for our show. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, David.
You have a blessed night.
You have an even more blessed night. All right, let me do this here. That was my first guest. What a great guest. The questions were great. David, you are a beautiful person. Thank you so much for being here. You see, this is why I do what I do, because I can have a conversation with anybody here and open up a dialogue. And David was a great guest. This is what it's all about. This is how coming together we transform the earth. This is how we transform humanity, is by talking to each other. And if we can talk to each other, we can bridge every single gap on this planet. I truly believe that. I really do. I really do believe that. And also, thank you for Schizo for the Jays, the TikTok thing. I have 2 helmets taken. Your gifting me is always a beautiful thing if you support what we're doing. Thank you so much. Team Positively Boston. So, do you think ETs are going to save us from World War III? So, let me answer that question. Our space people aren't here to save us. We're not here to have our space people save our planet. We have to be proactive in saving our planet, not them. They will help us learn things, but they're not going to save our planet. We have to save our planet. We have to be the ones willing to step up to the plate. If we're just going to sit around waiting for star people to come here and save our planet, that's not happening. Because I work with the star people. I work with the Ashtar Command. They're not here to baby us and teach us, baby us around and say, okay, we'll save your water, we'll save your air, we'll save this, we'll save that. And we do nothing? No, we're the ones who have to save our planet. That's right. We're the ones, Chris, you're right. We're the ones who have to save our planet. We have to be the ones to do it. Um, let's see, JP Young. We'll bring JP Young up as our next guest. If you wish to be a guest, you have to be over 18. No paranormal discussion, no cursing, no foul language, no drinking, no smoking of any sort on camera, no being drunk or whatever. Again, focus is on everything from the spaceship sightings you're having, visitations by space people, if you've been abducted. Historically, you've had that problem happening. Mer people, fairies, Bigfoot. We cover all of these areas, but we stay away, very disciplined. We stay away from the paranormal. So, yeah. So we're going to bring JP Young on, our second guest. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I am amped up. This is CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show. And let's see here. JP Young, welcome to our program.
Good evening, Commander, and good evening to everybody. I want to first thank
And
you
good
for
evening.
the invitation, and
Yes.
absolutely intrigued. And I love your show. This is your channel. This is the first time I come in here, and
Oh, good.
I'm interested in learning and seeing your insight about life itself.
Right. And you can ask me questions, and if I know the answer, I'll answer the question. So go right ahead. Share a little bit about yourself and everything.
All right. So my understanding about life, I feel it's about evolution, and we all come here to make a change for this world, for this earth that we have, which is our home. And evolution is key for ascension, if I'm not mistaken.
If that's a question, I'll answer it. So here's where the conflict between, and again, it's something we've all been taught growing up as a kid in the 60s: evolution, evolution, evolution. So we did not, like, for example, the evolution that we were taught when I was a kid was we came potentially from an amoeba and we turned into a fish. And then from a fish, we turned into some sort of intelligent ape or gorilla or something. And then from there, we, zoomed from that aspect and separated into what we call a human form. So that's what we were taught in science class when I was a kid. But because I also had the experiences of seeing the space people on the ship when I was before a teenager, and they were in a spaceship hovering in a cul-de-sac, and they were tall men and women and children in spacesuits, that shattered that belief system. That shattered that whole concept of evolution. When I had that happen, it threw everything else out the window that I was being taught when I was growing up in high school and everything, because I knew it was a lie. At that point, I would say, wait a minute, that conflicts with what I've experienced. The confliction is that I experienced the fact that there are people coming here from somewhere else beyond Earth, that we as human beings did not evolve from a little fish in the sea, that we are people that came from other worlds, that we came here in human form to have a human experience, which the human experience has been going on for billions and billions of years. So when we look at our planet, if you look at the history of the planet, it is, it's billions of years old. And there have been many different civilizations here. There have been primitive things here. There have been very advanced things here. But the one thing that we've been taught is that evolution, people say evolution, throw it out the window. There are things that do evolve in certain ways, like a plant will grow. Like if I grow a watermelon from seed, it does create a plant and it does create the watermelon. So it evolves from that. But human consciousness came from human beings, and humans in other planetary systems have existed for eons. On Earth, our planet has human beings, and when there were apes, there probably were advanced at the time Atlantis, Lemuria. If you study all the history of those things, the land of Mu, the history of the pyramids in Egypt, the early before the pyramids in Egypt existence, before the Egyptian Empire, there was advanced civilizations in what is now a desert area that existed way before human understanding. So this planet is very intricate. It's very unique. It's there's a lot of stuff we don't know about our own planet. The fact is, there's evolution in certain things that probably evolve. Like I said, I grow a lot of vegetables, so for me, I use that as an evolution of the seed sprouting and creating the plant. But in terms of human evolution, what I was taught was we came from possibly a fish or an amoeba. That just isn't true. Just to answer your question.
Yes, it does. Um, do you think that we humans have the capacity to take our Earth back?
Oh, we will. It's and the way we're taking it back is if you once you get to know our show more, we have a Saturday night show with my friend, my sister April in Vermont. I come from Mars originally. I'm very out of the closet about it for over 21 years. You know how people come out of the closet for lifestyles, like if someone's gay or lesbian or whatever. So there's a lot of people on this planet that are coming out of the closet like I did 21 years ago and saying, I am from Mars, or I'm from this planet, because now we're remembering that we're not just Earth humans. Yes, I did have parents. I do have a brother. I do have cousins and relatives on Earth, but I also come from beyond Earth. And I also work with what's called the Ashtar Command. It's sort of like the intergalactic United Nations of peaceful planetary worlds beyond Earth. So if you've never heard of that before, that's okay. It exists. It's been around for eons before Earth. It's not from Earth, but there are many planets beyond Earth, many civilizations that are very advanced spiritually and also very advanced technically, and live in a whole different way than we do here on Earth.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
One last question. Technology. The suppressed technology that we've been having for centuries, is that technology able to make us free and bring us to into the unity level?
Uh, the technology will not make us free. We have to make us, the only way we're going to be free is if we, let me see here what's going on here. I just got to make sure this thing is plugged in. The only thing that's going to make us free is to go center ourselves in meditation, go into inner reflection, and to connect with the inner part of ourselves. We always operate in our brain level, but we don't operate in the spiritual consciousness of our inner being. So that takes meditation. If we're going to be free, it's not the technology that makes us free. The technology will come after we are spiritually free, cosmically free. But we have to work on that level first before we get to the technical part of being free, such as free energy and all that stuff. It does exist. It's been suppressed, but that doesn't free us. What frees us is we have to change our consciousness. If we switch our consciousness into a more cosmic level instead of a 3D level, we will then be free. Once we come to a Christ consciousness, which is an elevated consciousness that is way beyond where we are now, we will be free. The technical aspects of being free, the energy of being free, the advancements of having spaceships and going all over the place, that will happen, but it won't happen until we are consciously advancing our spiritual selves. We have to do that first. If we don't do that, we're not going to be able to do anything else other than be who we are now.
Okay, understood.
There are civilizations, JP, that the Zeta, for example, they were once human, like us physically. They actually got very advanced. They actually got so advanced they almost they actually basically destroyed most of their worlds. That's why you hear stories about the Zeta abducting humans, because they lost their humanity. They were trying to regain their humanity with having hybrid children that looked similar to them, but look human at the same time. They did abductions over the last 70 years. So a lot of times you see with the Zeta, they did something that basically destroyed them on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a lot of levels. So we don't want to make the same mistake, and we're not actually going to do that. But that has been something that the Zeta did to their system of all their civilizations. For the most part, they essentially destroyed their spiritual selves, their emotional selves, and became what they became with the big eyes and the big head and different sizes. They basically destroyed their worlds because they became so advanced in their technology that they forgot who they were. They basically advanced themselves out of emotion, out of human existence, and they used to be just like a human being on Earth, but they messed up.
Okay.
But we're not going to mess up. We're going to have a much better world. Actually, we're going this parallel Earth realities, meaning that there's this Earth here. And even though we have problems on this planet, nothing compared to the parallel Earth that might be in a nuclear war or destroying itself. There are many multiple options and realities that go beyond our human understanding. There are multiple Earth realities, multiple Venuses, multiple Mars, Jupiters. Everything has a multiple. So sometimes if you look at things in a singular way, like this is the only planet, there are people that do believe that when I was growing up, that the Earth was the only planet with intelligent life on it. We know that's a lie. It's not true, but there are people, and there are probably still people out there that think there's no way anyone who's intelligent would come to Earth. I've heard those arguments. Why would they come here? We're not, we're very primitive. We're not smart. Why would they come to Earth? Because it's the right time to do it, because they've been here before for billions of years. There are many civilizations from other planets that have come to Earth for billions of years, not just 70 years before this, or 20 years or 100 years before your existence or my existence. Space people and intergalactic beings have been always coming to Earth forever, as long as we've existed.
I have this other thing lingering. Um, I want to have faith on humanity, but seeing 20 years in the making, you know, from 2020, from 2001 up to
Mm-hmm.
now, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things have changed, and I've just seeing how the world has changed drastically, from health to economy to the Earth itself. It has changed so much in the last decade that I, with so much distraction, so much evil, so much darkness, I don't know how we humans can really overcome all the agendas and plans that is heading and being
Mm-hmm.
done today.
Mm-hmm. I can answer that question with a very clear answer. With all the things you say that have been done to the people of this earth, to every life form, including our sea life, everything, that's going to be stopped. And the reason it's going to be stopped, we are going to stop it. And like I said, we're not waiting for help from our star family. The star people are biological humans that are spiritual, beautiful people. For example, I know you're new to the show. I have a mother and father that are on a spaceship right now. Now, I had a mother and father here on Earth. So if you can open the consciousness up in your head and say, how could you have a mother and father off planet and have a mother and father on Earth? Because we came here a star seed and we're born into a biological Earth family. When my mother and father passed, my mother passed several years ago, um, they're gone. But before I came to Earth, I was on a spaceship. I came from beyond this planet. I have a mother, a father, two sisters, and a brother who are alive and well on a spaceship. They come from a planet, but they're on a ship doing mission work right now around the planet Earth. And so, if you can grasp that understanding, you yourself, JP, are not just a human being. Now, you don't realize this yet, but you will down the road as you watch my show. That as you wake up and meditate and focus on the things, and we'll help you get there, is that we all come from the stars. We just don't remember it. So, if you have a wave coming in from the ocean, like a little wave, and then you say, where's that big wave coming in? There's a bigger wave. And boy, there's that gigantic wave coming in. So what I'm saying is everybody wakes up when they are supposed to. As you watch the show, as you do self-meditation spiritually for yourself, as you connect with your inner cosmic being, you're going to find out that there's a lot more going on in you that's going to open up a brand new world, so to speak, like a rainbow of multiple colors. And as you wake up into those levels, you'll actually be able to understand everything and anything regarding these areas. And again, you're not supposed to remember everything at once. You're not supposed to know all these things at once. That's why I'm here, so you can ask the questions. And as you watch the show and hear me interview people, you're going to get so much more out of it. And you will, if you meditate, I don't know if you do, learn to meditate. Do like 15 minutes of meditation a day. Use higher dimensional space music, I call ambient space music, and meditate. And as you do that, you'll let your mind just be at peace. And as you do that, you're going to amp up the vibrational patterns in yourself, and it's going to make a big difference.
I thank you for that. I don't
Yeah.
meditate, but I will definitely be taking into that.
Yeah, check into that. I'm trying to keep it somewhat simple in my answers, though it's not simple, but I'm trying to give you as honest an answer I can on each of your questions.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
All right, JP, thank you for being here. I'm glad you found the show for the first time. We're glad to have you on the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media, right here on Encounters. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, everybody say thank you for JP. Give him a round of applause. JP, our second guest. And I got my apple cider here. Boy, I definitely need the apple cider tonight. Good thing for apple cider. The question is, how long does Adam says, will space people live to be thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years old? Many of the space people, my family members on the ship of the Ashtar Command, look to be 20, 30 years old, and they are thousands of years old. Let's see. Shara saying, okay, I'm starting to understand. Meditate to get my answers. Yes, Shara. Use higher dimensional music. You can get on YouTube, ambient space music, higher dimensional music. And when you do your meditations, use the word Om or You, but you have to clear all your thoughts out of your head when you start meditating. You can't think about anything. You have to throw all your thoughts out in order to do that. Absolutely. Let's see here. And we are doing interviews. I've enjoyed David's interview with me and JP. You have to be over 18. No kids on the screen, no smoking, no drinking, no cursing, no paranormal discussion, everything related to visitations. If you've had positive star interactions with your star family in real time, if you're seeing spaceships and you're recording them and documenting them, we want to hear your story. If you've had contact with Bigfoots or mer people or the fairies, any of those things, this is the kind of place that it is here. So we're not a nuts and bolts show. We get into the very spiritual aspects, the cosmic aspects of the subject. And I'm also a contactee. I work on WESU non-commercial radio for 21 years, NPR radio, with my Cosmic Eye show, and I'm very much involved in this thing 100%. And we're going to bring our next guest up, and that's TikTok. Let's see. Let's see here. I know. Let's see what it's. I'm waiting for the TikTok thing. TikTok. Let's go. Good to have you with us. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. And what's your first name?
Jose.
Jose. Nice to meet you, Jose. Welcome to the show here. And give us some background as to your own experiences, and we'd love to hear your story.
Well, as growing up, I say about at age 14, started seeing UFOs. First, I didn't know what it was. Looking up the sky, and then I just told my parents about it. I kept on seeing those craft around, and they just told me it was government stuff or UFO, but they didn't care,
Yeah.
So, but then after that, it seems like ever since then, I've been seeing different crafts. Well, my question is, even to now, to this day, I've been seeing like dark crafts, orbs, all type of different colors. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's like I could look up and see them there mostly in my daily basis. Is this
really? Do you see these at nighttime, or are you seeing these during the day?
Day and night.
So Jose,
mostly more in the day.
More in the day. Interesting. So you have more daytime sightings.
Yes.
That's interesting. And they do exist during the day. People, there's a lot of nighttime sightings, but you are having experiences. And usually when you have these sightings, since you're having a lot, can you tell me how you feel when you see one of these orbs or spaceships, so to speak, or UFOs? Do you feel any energy? How do you feel when you're looking at these different things?
Some of them I do feel like energy, like about kind of like my body goes. I don't know if I could say nervous, like vibration kind of type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's at the same time, it's like I'm constantly thinking about them. Like I can't, every day I wake up, I was like, it's like a vision of them on my head. I was like, it won't go away, it won't let me relax.
And when did you start seeing, Jose? What year did you start? I don't know how old you are, but when did you start having these experiences?
I say the age like 14, around 14 or 15. Now I'm 47, so yeah.
47. So when you were 14 or 15 years old, you started having these experiences of unknown flying objects.
Yes. All type of shapes. I seen some out here in Vegas, like a squared shape, looking like a desert color, like two of them. I seen some look like Independence Day, but small, kind of like a whole bunch of dark ones. I don't know. I could name so many. It's just
I'm
many
sure you
areas.
can. Now you're located where, in Las Vegas?
Yes, in Las Vegas.
Okay, and that whole area, Arizona, Las Vegas, there are a lot of sightings there. Matter of fact, one year when I was working for this company, I was coming back from L.A. on a red eye flight. A red eye flight is a flight that you land in Las Vegas at the airport, and then you have to take another
Okay.
flight. And it was late night. So as we're coming into Las Vegas on this commercial airline jet, I'm looking out the window and I see the mountain ranges. It's dark out, but we're not at the city limits yet. I'm seeing the mountains, and I see 3 or 4 spaceships. And then I asked the stewardess, I said, I'm seeing these spaceships. Are your flight, the airline pilots, are they able to see what I'm seeing? She didn't, I said, I'm seeing them right at the window. Back then we didn't have all this stuff. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And they're coming out of the mountain range. They're coming from the mountain range. They're going, there's 3 of them. And they didn't say a word. We got to the airport, and I felt like I was in a sci-fi movie in Las Vegas. The airport was like really weird. These people were sitting in an area. There was a couple of slot machines, and I felt like I was in this like weird movie. And these people were
Yeah.
like, who are these people? And they can smoke and it looks like they were able to smoke in this little area. And then there was a gift shop that had Area 51 memorabilia, T-shirts. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing here? And I'm telling you, it was the weirdest experience. But before we landed and before we got into the limits of Las Vegas, I did document at least 3 of these things. So I was interested in the fact that you said Las Vegas, and there's been a lot of sightings in the mountains outside of Las Vegas. Are you
Yes.
familiar with that?
Right. Even in the city, this is where I see them. I'm in the city, and I
Mm-hmm.
usually see like different objects fly by. Like a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, I seen like 3 balls, look like silver,
Yep.
big huge balls,
Yeah.
and it came in and disappeared, in and out, in and out. It was so weird. Yeah.
So since
And
14,
but
15
my
years
question
old,
is, I don't know if they're. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm very interested in
Go ahead.
you. So with all these years of sightings, have you had any encounters? I can't imagine that you have or haven't. So, I mean, there's got to be something else going on here.
There's. I don't like to say too much stuff about like being
No,
negative,
no,
but
that's
there's
okay. If you with ET levels, if you've had any abduction experiences, and I'm not saying you have. I don't want to. I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's not what I do here. But I'm very intrigued by what you're saying.
right.
You've had so many experiences. I'm thinking in my head. The next question is, well, you've had to have some interaction with some sort of ET intelligence.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I knew you had, and you know
And
me. Well, go ahead. Tell us about it.
okay, well, this was like this is weird. I was at work. I worked the graves. Okay,
Hmm.
the graveyard shift, and then I went to throw out the trash. When I was throwing out the trash, I looked up in the sky. Something told me to look up. I don't know why. Just looked up, and I seen like a craft right there. It was a bright, just like a bright light, just like just your normal bright, like a star, like that kind of,
Hmm.
but very bright. And next thing you know, just it kind of like faded away, and I
Hmm.
started feeling like something was calling me behind this big dumpster. It has like a trees and everything. I looked.
Hmm.
Well, as soon as I looked there, I seen like I'm gonna say it, a alien. That's what it was. I guess it has big eyes. It's white, like a white color.
Yeah.
And it was just looking at me but behind the tree like he was scared or something. I don't know if he was scared, but I was more afraid.
Interesting.
So
So this ET, because there really aren't any aliens, but this
yeah,
extraterrestrial
there you
being,
go.
what did they look like?
They were like kind of like I say about maybe 5 foot or less than that, and were
Hmm.
like white complected skin, kind of.
Hmm.
I can't see too much of a detail because he was like behind the tree, but he had like big eyes.
Hmm. And when you say
And other than
behind a
that,
tree, was that in a country area or was that in the city limits or where was
it's
that?
like between the city limits and the mountain area because I worked it close to the mountain area.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
more out in the outer reaches of Las Vegas.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, in
So,
Henderson.
Henderson. Okay, I've heard of
Yeah.
Henderson. So this being, this ET, this short ET, Did he try? Well, whatever it is, did they try to communicate or approach you, or what was going on?
And one, I don't know if I was going crazy, but it felt like it said like don't be afraid, kind of like I don't know. I didn't feel scared, but at the same time, I don't know. I felt something was out of place. Put it that
All
way.
right.
It
Yeah,
just didn't feel right.
you have to go with your feelings. That's the most important thing I teach people here. When that happens.
And my question, go ahead. My question, the reason why I came in the show is because I've been having like, like kind of like sadness ever since then. When all this started, I noticed like mostly when at this age, I had more like sadness or madness. It's so weird, and I keep thinking about these craft that I see in the air, like the dark one I seen. I gave you
Mhm.
some videos on it. I don't know if you got them. I sent you like two or
Yeah,
pictures with it.
I think I saw one of them, but you'll have to send me more
Hmm.
after the show. So
Yeah, I will.
you felt sadness. You felt a sense of sadness. Do you have
Yes.
any understanding as to why you're feeling that way?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that has happened. I can't say in the show when I growing up
No,
as
we
a
don't.
child. I
Okay.
sent you a message. Maybe you could read it. I don't know.
I'll look at you know.
But mostly
Um, yeah, go
this
ahead.
I keep like when I look up, like I said, in daily basis, sometimes I see more of a dark crafts and stuff like that. So I don't
Hmm.
know, is that a bad thing or what? That's what I want to know. Like different
Okay.
colors and all that. That's why I
I'm
came to
going
the
to
show.
ask. I'm going to help you here a little bit. I'm going to get into that in a minute.
Yes, because I'm
So when
confused.
you see, I'm going to deconfuse you and help you. So the dark craft you're seeing, when you see how low are these dark craft, and what are you feeling when you see the dark craft?
Kind of like get scared a little bit,
Yeah,
like if they're abducting me or something. Yeah,
yeah. No, I
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. I get a little bit
So
scared.
a little bit scared. So if you've watched my show quite often, and you know that I've helped people that have been abducted, correct?
Yeah,
Have you
like
seen
basically I
that?
started watching you lately. Yeah, huh? A lot more. Yep.
Okay,
Interesting.
so what I'd like to do for you, and I have a feeling tonight's going to be one of those nights. I've been watching some of the comments here. Some people have had abductions happening to them. Uh,
Oh yeah. Whoa.
I'm gonna go into another mode. So I'm your talk show host, but I'm also able, because I don't come from here from Earth. I work with the Ashtar. I'm from the Ashtar Command, which are very highly spiritual beings of light. So if you tell me, yes, Commander, I'd like your help, I will proceed to help you in a nanosecond.
Yes. If
Meaning,
it's gonna help, give it a
you.
shot. Yes.
I will help you not have any negative ET encounters or any negative experiences in negative ET ships. We're going to put
Okay,
a
that'd be
stop to
good.
that.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so here's what we're going to do. I'm like in a nanosecond, I'm switching into my cosmic Ashtar command mode. I don't need to do rituals. I'm not going to jump around the screen here. I'm not going to throw a crystal ball or pendulums in the air. I'm not going to throw a bunch of cards and give you a reading or have neon lights going around the background. I'm going to help you because
Okay.
that's what I do.
Yes, please.
So I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you to clear all your thoughts out, everything. I want to just clear everything right out. And folks, what we're going to do for him, if you're new to the show, we're going to do something that's going to blow your mind. So watch. I want you to keep your eyes closed. I
Okay.
want you to take a deep breath, about 3 or 4 or whatever amount of times you need to. Breathe in and release through your nostrils. So you're going to release through your nostrils, breathe in and release, breathe in and release. And when you have completed that, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. And the first thing I always ask is, how do you feel at the moment?
Little relax.
A little relaxed. That's good. So we're going to begin to do this thing. And I'm not just your normal UFO talk show host. I'm way more than that. So I'm going to now go into the mode of helping you. I want you to keep your eyes closed. We're going to send a ship over your location about 30,000 feet in that area outside of Las Vegas. It will not be seen. It'll be a cloaked spaceship.
I don't know why I feel nervous, but I'm feeling nervous.
You're probably nervous because you've never experienced what I'm going to do, but
Okay.
it's all going to be good. Just relax. It's all going to be good. The ship is 30,000 feet. It's going to be over the mountainous area, but it'll not be seen. No military radar. Nothing can see the Ashtar ships. It's
Okay.
cloaked, very well protected. We're going to send 10 Ashtar command people onto the land where you are. Where you are right now, are there kind of wooded areas?
No, just a city close, like in the middle of the city in the
Yeah.
suburb. Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the suburb. Okay, that's good. Well, they're going to be, they're coming in cloaked. No one's going to see them. Your neighbors won't even see these space people. They're about 7.5, 8 feet tall, men and women. They are beautiful people. They are very much loving people. So they're right now outside your house. Give me a moment. Keep yourself, just relax. They're coming through. They're going to be able to open, or like what they call a opening on your wall. They just come right into the room, and they are going to be in the room. Do you have a basement or no basement?
No basement.
Okay, it's most of my guests have no basements when I deal with this, but that's okay. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna 5 of them are gonna check all your rooms in your house. They're gonna check all the energies around your house, and do some cleaning
And
up of
excuse
any
the mess.
energies.
There's a lot of mess here.
They're not worried about the mess. Believe me, they're not even concerned with that. The other 5
Okay.
are going to be with you in the room. I want you to you relax. Don't think too much about anything. Just relax.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, the 5 that are in the room, they're all medical in terms of medical people. They're not like earth-based doctors. They're very advanced. They're from, again, a higher level of consciousness. So they don't use earth-based things. They're not, if that's somewhat primitive. What they're going to do is help you. As
Okay.
you keep your eyes closed, one of them, and for some reason, every time I do this thing with people, the neck has something to do with it. So one of them is going to come and touch your neck. I want you to relax. Don't think. Just allow yourself to enjoy and relax. And as you're relaxing, uh, the space woman is going to touch your neck area, and you will feel some sort. Sometimes you'll just feel a flow of energy or wind or coolness, or you'll feel some sort of energy around your neck area. When you do feel that, let me know. Relax. Please let him know that you're there. Relax. They're also clearing the energy out of the room you're in, so they're clearing all the energy out. They don't care how the room looks, they're clearing all the energy out. The other 4 in the room, 2 of them, one's going to touch your right shoulder, one is going to touch your left shoulder. Please, what they do is they're going to do some work on your cellular structure. So for some reason, they do it by touching the shoulder. Please, one touch the right shoulder. Please, one touch the left shoulder. Let him know you're there. You might feel like a vibration for your body. You might feel like a coolness in the room. There's a number of things people feel.
I feel like a vibration more.
Yes, a vibration, yes.
Yeah.
And they're working on your cellular structure, the etheric body. Also, they're working on the physical body. They're also working on your consciousness. So when they get done working on all those 3 areas as well, you will be no longer having any of that stuff happen with those black ships. Give me a moment. So the Ashtar Command has agreed to go after the ships that are no good, the beings that are no good. They're going to find those space ETs that have been interfering with you. and they will capture them.
Okay.
They've been hiding out in the mountainous areas north of Las Vegas. They're telling me. Hold on. Yes, they're going to find them. They're not too far.
Okay.
Not all the ships that you've had experiences since you were 14, 15 years old were negative, but
Right.
some of them were. Some of them were. You had a mixture of experiences, and now you're not going to see any more negative ET spaceships. It's going to be stopped as of now, right now.
Okay.
They
Sounds good.
will find them, and they are going to quarantine those ships and the beings in them. They're also going to be sent off planet. They won't be coming back to your location. Another thing that's going to happen tonight.
I felt like a strong breeze on my left ear or something. It was weird.
Yes, they're with you. You'll feel their presence. They are about 7.5, 8 feet tall, the men and women. The 5 of them are working with you. The other 5 are outside in the perimeters. They're going to put a invisible field of light around your home. It will be it will not be penetratable by any lower vibrational ET whatsoever. They're clearing the energy in your house. They're building up the vibrational patterns. So when you go to sleep at night, you won't have any bad dreams or anything happening. Everything's going to be elevated. And for the first time, you're going to have peace. You're not going to be nervous. You'll be able to sleep tonight. And when you do have your visitations or encounters, it's only going to be with positive star people. So they're reconstructing the energy fields around your location.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. How do you feel?
I feel relaxed.
Yes.
Relaxed. Like tired, but relaxed. But in a good way.
Yes. So my gift to you is that they will stay with you. They're telling me how long? Till Thursday. They're going to stay till Thursday on Earth time at your location. There's a few things they're going to do on the physical realm of your property and on the inner part of your house and below the ground of your house. They're going to do some work on the below area of the Earth around your house. By the time they are finished, the amping up of the frequencies will be very much in a higher state of consciousness.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Very negative here.
Yes. You're going to see things change and shift.
Thank you.
So that's my gift to you, brother.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Really do.
Any other things you want to say?
No. Should I open my eyes now or?
You can open your eyes now.
Okay.
They're going to reveal themselves before they leave Thursday. You might see 1 or 2 of them show themselves. They're very beautiful people, and they will communicate with you. Please communicate with him telepathically. Do you know what telepathy is?
Yes.
Okay, they will communicate with you through consciousness.
Right. That's what I'm like. It's weird you say that because that's when I feel like a vibration or something calling when I look up in the air, and that's why I always see those crafts or something. Like I won't. I'll be driving next thing you know, I look to the left and it's there. Boom. So it's so
Yeah.
weird. Like
Well,
it's like the call.
you had mixed things happening. You had some higher vibrational ships, and then you had these other lower vibrational ships trying to interfere with your life. It's not
Yes.
going to happen anymore. So
All
that's
right.
all going to be cleared up as of tonight. All of
All
it.
right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. I need to get some of that bad negative vibration out of my life. It's just because I keep thinking about it, having like images about it, and it's just not a good thing.
I want the space people that are working with you to please work on his consciousness and his brain to readjust it so he's not going to have those thoughts anymore. So my teaching here from remotely where I am is do not think about that anymore.
Okay.
They're going to help you. They're going to switch that off. As long as you think about it, you're allowing it into your consciousness. They want you to not think about that. They're going to help you switch your vibrational patterns.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Now, the question
That's
is,
really important.
my question is that gonna interfere if, like, because I'm interested, like in your show, definitely, like, UFOs, stuff like that is just
Oh
wow,
no,
man.
it won't interfere with anything. You are
Okay.
going to be completely protected. Watching
Okay.
my show is not going to affect you, or doing it. Anything you have to do in your daily life will not affect what they're doing to you right now to elevate your body to protect you. You're going to be well protected. Your cellular structure, your biological cellular structure is going to be amped up. You're not going to have any problems anymore.
Are they still here in the room working with me, or are they gone already?
No, they're here. They're still with you.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know, they are still with you. Can the two of you out of the five please let him know you're still there? Let him know that you're still there. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it whatever way you want. Just let him know you're still there.
I feel like a tingle in my right hand. I don't know if someone's touching it or something.
Yes, they're
Like
touching your
getting
hand.
heavy, very
Yes,
heavy.
they're touching your hand just to let you know that they are still there. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my hand got very, very heavy right now.
Yeah, no, they were just letting you know they are there.
Okay,
They're going to stay with you till Thursday.
that's amazing. This is crazy. Not crazy, but it's just amazing. It's real.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this stuff. I didn't even know I can do this. When I first came on TikTok, I was just doing a show on spiritual UFO areas. I am
Uh-huh.
from the Ashtar Command. I've been with the command for years. I've done workshops, and again, this started happening last year at some point. So I've been activated to do this, and I'm happy to do it unconditionally to help people. And I'm glad you came up.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, all right. And Jose, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Let me know
Good night.
a week or so from now how you are. Give me an update how you are. We'd love to know more how you're feeling.
I will. Yep, definitely.
Okay, okay. Everyone, give Jose a round of applause for coming up here and being bold enough to do this. We thank you, Jose. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night. Bye.
All right, we're going to bring Jose down. You're watching Encounters, a show that's out of this world, and really is a show that's out of this world. That probably should be the new motto of the program. I am CmdrAleon, the host of the show. I am also fully activated, and I'm able to do what I say I do. I'm not from Earth. I am from the Ashtar Command. I'm also from Mars originally, but I am here on Mission Earth. I'm here to bust the matrix. And I know, thank you, Summer. I'm here to help people. There's so many comments. I've missed probably half of them. When I'm focused on a person, I don't always read the comments. So don't take it personally. But if you do have something, if you've had positive encounters with space people, if you have sightings constantly happening, if you've been abducted years ago or recently, I will help you. If you've seen Bigfoot, mer people, fairies, if you have anything in the galactic cosmic realm, I am interested in having that interaction with you. I'm certainly interested in that. Hoppy Love wants to come up. Hoppy Love, where's Hoppy Love? Hoppy Love, where are you? Let's see where Hoppy Love is. Please share and like. Oh, Hoppy Love, Little Butterfly, may I come up, please? Yes. Hoppy Love, we're going to bring Hoppy Love up. All about love and kindness. I like that. Hoppy Love. Hey, Hoppy Love, good evening. I love your name. Hoppy Love, Little Butterfly. It's great.
Hi, Commander. I've been up a couple times before.
I know you have. I know you have. How's it going?
It's going okay. But I DM'd you the other day, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to look at anything. I've been getting so many messages. I will get to it, though.
Okay. No, I can tell you what now. I was just going to see if you could kind of help me with the negative stuff, too.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Because I had an experience years ago, and it's been creeping up lately often. And I kind of want to get rid of that, you know?
And are these like negative ET experiences that you're talking about?
Yeah. like years ago, me, my daughter, she was like 2. She's 30 something now, but uh, her father and I all were on a ship. I mean, I thought it was a dream,
Mm-hmm.
but come to find out, me and him didn't live together at the time. And we were talking, and when I was telling him my dream, he was like, "Oh my God, shut up." He experienced the same exact dream as me.
Mm-hmm.
And where I was in a ship, and I woke up, and I had stuff in my mouth, and I was pulling it out of my mouth,
Oh my gosh.
and I couldn't breathe right. And then I got it out of my mouth, and I knew my daughter was on that ship. And I went
Mm-hmm.
to go find her, and I ran into her father. And then he and I went and found our daughter, and we found her, and we were grabbing the stuff out of her mouth, and we were like, breathe, breathe. And the next thing I know, I had woken her up, and I was back in my home.
Oh wow. Yeah, you all had a family. It's unusual, but your whole family was abducted at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I, thought was a dream, but, when he told me he had it too, I felt that was a little more to it. And as time
Mm-hmm.
has gone on and I'm more aware and more into my spirituality and stuff now, I know there was way more to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in that one sentence where you found your husband, your daughter, and yourself on the ship in an abduction scenario.
Yes, and the weird thing is, him and I didn't live together. And when I went, like it was 2 days later, I was talking to him. I'm like, "Oh my God, I had this dream." And when I started telling him, he couldn't. He was like, "Stop! Oh my God," you know.
Yeah,
And
no,
he was
it's
like,
amazing.
"Yeah, it was." And I feel like, I don't know. To me, now reflecting, I don't know if they were experimenting on the three of us.
Hmm.
I don't know. You know. But I'd like
So,
to remove the negative from that, because I really feel that every once in a while, and it's been creeping up a lot lately, and I don't know why. I don't know
hmm
if it's because lately I'm very loyal to sitting out and looking at the stars and trying to make contact. I do
hmm
Seeking Fives. I'm trying to connect with the good ones.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I have that little bit of fear in the back of me, and I don't want to feel that.
right. So I've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. For some reason, this is happening, and that's what I'm here to do. It's not, we've had a lot of different discussions, but I am here to help people. So I will be willing to help you. And now, remind me where you are in terms of the region. Are you in a built-up area, in a wooded area? Where are you located?
I'm more in a wooded area. I'm in Maine.
And that's right, Maine, up in Maine. Yep.
Yep.
And I know, where part of Maine are you in? Because I used to live in Hinckley, Maine.
Around Rumford, Mexico area.
Oh, I know it is, Rumford. Okay. Yep. Yep. I was outside of Waterville. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm definitely going to help you. So, what I'd like to do is start by having you relax, and I want you to breathe in. Just breathe in and breathe out of your nostrils a couple of times to start. And as we do this, when you are totally relaxed, keep your eyes closed. Let me know.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So, what we're going to do first is we want you to keep your eyes closed. We're going to send a relatively small ship above your location, about 15,000 feet above your location. Okay. It's going to be cloaked.
Okay.
It's going to be there in like 2 seconds. Bam, like that. We're going to send 5 of the space people on the ground level. And they're going to come in. 3 of them are going to stay outside to look at the parameters of your area where you are. They're going to do a scanning of the area to make sure there's nothing or residual energies of negative ETs or anything in your location. The 2 coming in are part of a medical team of the command. They're going to work with you. Okay. So I want you to keep your eyes closed, okay? If you're just watching this program now and you're saying, what's going on here? My name is CmdrAleon, host of the show. I interview people about everything from positive contact with space beings or that are human to people that have had experiences of abductions, people that have seen fairies, mer people, the whole galactic cosmic area we do that here on the program. So we're going to now have you keep your eyes closed. And just so you know that the two space people are there, like I said, they're mostly about 7.5, 8 feet tall, one man, one woman. It seems to be the way the command wants to do this thing. So I'm just going with the flow of it. The woman's going to touch your forehead. So keep your eyes closed. When you feel that touch, let me know. Take your time. Relax. Don't think about it.
Can feel a little tingling.
The tingling, you feel the tingling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's normal. Okay. So as you're sitting where you're sitting with your eyes closed, they're going to work on your consciousness first, on the brain area, because that's where all the thoughts come from. And then they're going to work on your whole cellular structure, meaning your whole body, your etheric body, and your physical body. Okay, the other one is the man. He's going to touch you on the neck area. I'm starting to learn that the forehead and the neck seem to be the two important areas of the things when the space people work on people. That seems to be the two areas. I'm not totally sure why that is. I kind of got an idea, but that's what they do. So the man is touching, the space Astro Commander is touching your neck area, the back. So let her know that you're there doing some energy work. On the neck area, from the neck area, is an opening to the inner cellular structure.
I can feel like a little warmth.
Yeah, warmth around your neck, correct?
Yep.
Yes. He's going to work on your cellular structure down through your neck, down through your spinal column, and he's going to be working on your cellular structure. The woman is working on your consciousness, on your brain area. She wants you to stop thinking so much at the moment and just calm yourselves down to a point of not thinking at all at the moment. You tend to think a lot. She just wants you to relax.
Correct.
Yeah, you need to just relax. Stop thinking. So they're going to work on you all night or most of the night. They're going to work on you, especially on your consciousness. You think so much about everything. They're going to work on getting you to calm down. You are nothing wrong with thinking, but you overthink things way too much. You think a lot. So they're going to work on that to get you to calm yourself down, to just relax your consciousness. When they get done working
Fabulous.
on you, yes, they're going to stay with you. And today is Monday. Till about Wednesday. They'll be in your area. They'll stay with you till Wednesday. They're going to do a clearing of the area and make sure there's nothing out there, any negative ETs or anything that has been put in the ground level where you are. They're scanning the whole area. They're doing a clean sweep of the area. And this is just to make sure that you have no problems.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank them too. Well, thank you. They could probably hear me, right?
Well, they're right in your room. You can thank them. They're right there. You can't see them,
Thank
but
you all.
they're physically there. All right. And can you give me your first name again?
It's Hope.
Hope, just by Hope. Okay, we'll go by Hope.
Yep.
All right, Hope.
That's
I want
my
to thank
real
you for being.
name.
That is your real name. So
Yep.
now you're going to have some beautiful things happen. You finally, you've been on before, but we never did this with you. So I'm glad you came on here, and you're going to have some beautiful experiences once it's finished. You just do your meditations, keep focused on Christ consciousness. The one thing I will say to you before I end this, I want you to say right now, I am a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed being of light.
So you're going to say it another time. I'm a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed being of light.
And I cannot be touched by any negative ETs.
And I cannot be touched by any negative ETs.
I am a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed being of light.
There you go. That's simple. That's simple.
Thank you so much, Commander. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Many blessings
and
to you.
And I love all the help you're helping everybody, It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're going to let Hope go. Everyone say a big clap for Hope for having the courage to come up here and have me do this. Hope, thank you.
Thank you.
Nora,
have
thank
a
you for the
beautiful
roses.
night.
You as well, Hope. I've been doing a lot of this tonight. It seems to be a theme. It's not always like this, folks. Some nights there are people coming on talking about being visited by space people, but we thank Hope for being here. Thank you, little Leah. Thank you. Now, you might wonder, does that take a lot of energy out of me? Nope. My energy level is good. This is what it's all about, This is called being unconditional. Because the Ashtar Command is unconditional. Our space family is unconditional. Humans have to be unconditional. That's really the key, isn't it? To learn to be unconditional. You're welcome, Sarah says. Thank you. I'm just adjusting my energy here. Teacher near the beach. Commander, would you send one to me, please? Thank you for the helmet. Sarah says thank you. Hey, Barb. Barb. Yeah, Barb. We know it's you. And you are filled with light and love, Let me just do this here. Let me just do this here. I'm just trying to adjust something. Okay. I'm just bringing this bell. There it is. You can't sleep? Oh, that's not good if you can't sleep. Also, by the way, we're at 57.4. We need to get up to 100,000. We're at 57,000.4. I need everybody to tap on the screen. We have 281 people watching the show. Tap on the screen. When you see the hearts, that's because people are tapping. I want to get up to 100,000 likes here tonight, but I need everybody to be proactive. So you can't just let a few people do their tapping and then the rest of you just sit there and do nothing. Everybody on my show gets to be proactive, whether you're a guest or not. I will get everybody involved in this show all the time. Everybody. Thank you for the roses, Patricia. Thank you, Mighty Mac. And again, if you have a story to tell, maybe you're documenting sightings in your area, maybe you're having contact with positive interaction with space people, I want to hear some of those stories too. Now, with 279 people out around the world, I have to imagine a number of you out of the 279 are actually having either encounters of some sort. So how many people here that have never been on the show before are having, and be honest, you're being visited by positive ETs or space people? We'll start with that question first. How many people are physically being contacted by positive ETs or space people? Anybody? Somebody is. I know it. With this many people on, there's somebody, or it's more than somebody. Barbara would like to. Child, I'm not sure. I've only had negative encounters, so I wouldn't recognize a positive one. Chris from Texas, I never have. I never. D says I have been contacted and being taught to contact them. I see. I'm going to bring on. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to bring up this other person. I'm going to bring up this person. The Para-Awakening. Para-Awakening, press my guest button there on the multi option. I want to hear about my first. Mighty Mac says, want to hear about my first visit, Mount Shasta visit. So Mighty Mac says they had, it looks like, a visit in Mount Shasta. Am I correct? I'm reading people's comments here. King Trinity says, stay away. I'm reading just comments, so everything might be out of context here. Nora, thank you for the roses. We appreciate that very much. Thank you. Nancy says, love and light. I'm in Reno and would like to go to Mount Shasta. So again, if you want to be a guest, there's a thing called the multi-guest option. You see the little people icon on your TikTok. You have to be over 18. No kids on the channel. No kids on the broadcast. No foul language at all. No smoking. No drinking. No whatever. No paranormal discussion. We keep it all in the galactic cosmic realm. Let's see here. Sweet Peas. Sweet Peas, stick around. We're going to get to you after. We have 3 requests right now. I'm going to bring on, my first one is going to be I think it's the Para-Awakening, I believe. The other 2 guests that are in the queue. Hey, Para-Awakening, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Commander? How you doing?
Not too bad, and it's Rob, right?
Yeah.
Rob, welcome to the show. So tell us what's happening. We've had some real interesting interviews tonight. What's going on your way?
So, I can tell you how this all began. Kind of in the same journey that you have been. I think I've been open about it now probably for the last, probably right around COVID. Is really strange.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I had a sighting. I was probably about 4, maybe 5. After that sighting, it was like I was having dreams. It got so bad where I didn't want to go to sleep. So, and I kind of told my mom, because she'd always tell me, "Oh, you need to go to bed. You need to go to bed." I said no,
Right.
and she was like, "Why?" And I said, "They wanted to take me away." And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You just go to sleep. You're just having dreams."
You're just having dreams.
So,
Yeah, that's what the parent, mother or dad might say, right?
right. So, looking back at it, right, I started kind of looking back at it, even when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the whole experience where I was taken into, it looked like an interrogation room, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
room was black. I mean, black, but you
Mm-hmm.
can see in the room. And I always tell people, like, because I've talked to others, and they said, "What did the room look like?" And so I said, "Okay, when you first walked in, there was like these spheres. It was weird. There's like everything was dark. You just walk
Yeah.
through what you can see in the light. I mean, you could see the room, but it was black. It's hard to
Right.
describe. So I went into it looked like an irrigation room, right? But it was
Yeah.
black, and then these two beings are really tall, thin. You can tell one was a male, one was a female,
Mm-hmm.
and they had me kind of stand like on this little platform, and there was two pillars, and they kind of looked like they had handprints, but they were kind of like embedded on there, and they were telling me why I was on Earth. I was here to help people,
Hmm.
and I was a star seed, and they were my parents.
Interesting.
And they said that they're going to send me back. No, they said that they're going to take them. They were going to take me with them, and then they're going to bring me back. I said, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave my mom and dad. And then
Right.
they're like, you're going to come back. Don't worry. We're taking you away for a little bit, and then we're bringing you back.
Yeah, they
And I
bring you
said,
right back.
no.
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't want to go. And I was, a kid. I was 4 or 5 years old. But they were
Right.
telling me, no, we're your parents, but we're going to send you back to your Earth parents.
Now, at that time, you didn't understand what they meant, correct?
No, not at all. I was a kid.
You were just a kid. You didn't know.
Right. So, um, so they said, okay, put your hands on the two pillars. I said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm going to get hurt. And they're like, you're not going to get hurt. Just put them on there. And they were calm, but they were talking to me telepathically, and I could
Right.
understand them. And I was talking back to them.
So you kind of freaking. Well, you like because you were human, you were like kind of like, oh, this is not happening. I don't understand any of this. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like I was taken away by two strangers, right?
Right.
And so I put my hands on there and I was back. I was back home. And then after that experience, the dreams kind of subsided.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was weird because after that, um, it was like I was able to predict what was going to happen in the future. Like in my
Mm-hmm.
life, I would just
Right.
say, this is what's going to happen when I'm 25.
Right.
And every single thing that I predicted has happened.
Right. You had an awakening experience from that experience.
Right. So, right around COVID, I started getting like contacted by the same two beings that took me away.
Can you tell us, our audience, what they looked like? I know the space people are taller than we are. You say you knew they were definitely a man and a woman. Can you tell us what they looked like?
I couldn't really identify their face.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember because I was, like I said, I was 4 or 5. So to me, they look like adults.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Um,
obviously they were. Um,
and, but they were really thin and their heads were a little bit larger, but
mm-hmm.
they were thin. I couldn't really see their face. I could just see
Mm-hmm.
them as a silhouette.
Right. Were they looking like not only slender? Did they have like a color to them? Like, did you notice anything like a color, like a blue or purple or anything?
I want to say more of a, I want to say almost like a aqua blue color.
Yeah. So I can tell you who they were. I don't know who your parents are. I can tell you who they were in general. You're connected with, it looks like, the Arcturians.
Okay.
Yeah. They're very tall, they're slender, they're very beautiful. They just look they're definitely taller, and they're human. It's just that they look a little bit different, the Arcturians.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so it was kind of funny because once I started opening up, I contacted this other girl and I, for some weird reason, kind of met, and she started telling me that she said you were abducted when you were a kid, and I said no, I wasn't, because I
Yeah.
did not say it to anybody,
Right.
and I was playing dumb, right? It was almost
Right.
like I was testing her. in a
Yeah.
way. So I
Yeah.
was kind of denying everything she was saying. And she said, "Don't lie
Yeah.
to me. I know you were." And
But
then
she was using the wrong terminology. You weren't abducted at all. You
no,
actually
no,
were
no.
being.
She said I was. Well, she said you had an encounter. Is what?
Oh, so you had an encounter. Okay, well that would be true.
Well, she said I was abducted, and I said no, I wasn't. And then she said, "Okay, let me rephrase that. You had an encounter, and you
Okay,
visited."
she didn't know what the right terminology is to use with you.
Right. So she said, "You met your star parents." And I said, "Wait, what?" And then so she started telling me where I was from, and she started telling me everything about my background.
This is the a woman who's a friend of yours.
Yeah, and she passed. Um, she passed right in 2020. Um, and she called me, and was telling me that everything that I needed to do and the things that were coming. And I said, "How did you know that? This is what I'm working on currently." And she said, "Well, you need to." She started giving me direction. And I said, "Why are you telling me this? You're not going anywhere." She said, "No, I'm leaving." She said, I'm not going to longer, I'm no longer going to be here." And I said, "What are you talking about? Stop." She was acting like she was suicidal.
Hmm.
And she said,
So,
"No."
so what happened to her? She knew she was
She
going to leave
passed.
the planet.
She
She
passed.
passed.
Yeah.
And did she pass because of something, an ailment, or did she pass because she didn't want to be here?
She passed because of an ailment.
Hmm. But she had great knowledge before she left.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story.
Yeah. And so she told me, "I know what you're working on," because I was sharing what I was working on. And she was kind of giving me direction, but the beings were telling me this is what you need to do, kind of like what you tell people to do. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
you're like right on, because what you want to hear is listen to is like binaural beats type of music
Mm-hmm.
to open
Mm-hmm.
up your alpha, delta, and beta waves on your conscious, to open up your subconscious mind. And when you
Oh
do
yeah.
that, go ahead.
Yeah, I tell people to use ambient. Even I use what I call cosmic Christed ambient music.
Right,
And the first time I typed it in YouTube, I said, "Is there such a thing?" Because I always experiment with meditation music,
right, right,
and
right,
there's actually ambient Christed conscious meditation music,
right,
which has a certain vibrational pattern,
right,
and that's the highest pattern. Not that any other ambient meditation music isn't good, but there are even higher patterns of frequency.
right. So, yeah, I started working on some communication tools, what they were telling me to use to communicate. And I was contacting beings from uh, from uh,
Were you going to say Palladian?
Palladian, yeah.
Yes, I knew you were going to say that.
And they were saying that they're Palladians.
Hmm. The ones that said they were Palladians, were those the ones that were tall?
I don't no, they were actually short.
Oh, these are shorter people. Now what did the Palladians look like?
They were shorter. I want to say they almost kind of look like grays in a way. They're a little bit taller and a little bit wider, but they kind of look like grays.
Hmm. Well,
And
there's nothing grays, but they're what we call Zeta. But
well, right, right,
Palladians, there are different in the Seven Sisters. There are different beings that are Palladians. Many of them look just like us, human,
right,
beautiful. And some of them might be slightly different in the way they look. But there are slightly different Palladians
right.
that look different from one another. But most people have seen more of the human ones. The ones that you experienced were human, but they were a different type of Palladian. They are different types of Palladians as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were showing me not in their human form, but in a different form. But then when they left, they turned into humans and they just walked out.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
And it's kind of funny because I don't know. It's just it's and that's what they were telling me too. They were like, don't talk to the lower level beings. your consciousness is already at they said like God level, but they didn't say
Mm,
God.
yeah.
They said in human terms, you're at God level.
Yeah. So, a lot of the things is when I teach people in my workshops is that the space beings, the ones that are Christed beings of light, they all are connected to the Creator, just as we are created to Source. We're all created, connected to God or the Creator, and
Right.
we're all, as we wake up, we're all essentially. When I teach people to center on Christed consciousness or Christ consciousness, that is the most key thing people need to do is Christ consciousness. That allows people to elevate their frequency into that universal consciousness, which our space brothers and sisters
Right.
operate in.
Right.
It's the key part of it. You have a great understanding, Rob, of a lot of things, and it's just a beautiful story to tell. Now being when you were a kid at that 5-year-old level, you're like, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to you guys. Now I mean, if I were 5 years old, I'm different than you. I
Right.
might say, okay, let's go on the journey, and what am I going to learn?
Right.
And then make sure you have me back before I go to school tomorrow. But we're all different. Hey, look, it's all good. It's what it is. You basically matured from the experience, and were activated, and you're way better than you were as a 5-year-old. You're much more conscious of everything, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And when I
Yeah,
look back at it, it's like because I did have a traumatic, childhood though too.
yeah,
And but that was they told me, as I got older, that that's all part of the learning experience that we all have to go through
yeah. Oh
of
yeah, I mean
learning.
that's why we came to Earth, right? To
Right.
experience the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And we came here,
Right.
but we came from the stars where things were beautiful. But we
Right.
came here to remember why we're here, who we are, why we're coming here. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many people I've met over the years that say, "Commander, I want to leave. I want to get out of here." I said, "There's no where you're going to go. Why you want to get out of here? You came here, you volunteered to be here. You just don't remember. You want to get out of here now? You're just getting into the human experience. You want to leave? Why do you want
Right.
to leave the planet? Aren't you here to help the planet and remember who you are?" It's amazing how many people I've met through the years who've told me that. I'm saying,
But
hey,
with you saying that, that was me as a kid. Like I
right,
had an opportunity. Okay, you can either stay here or you can come
right,
back to the planet with us.
right,
And I said, no, let me stay here. Let me do the work.
yeah,
It's, I think what the chore that I chose as a kid, not knowing
right.
that.
And they honored you. The Turians honored that they wanted to know what you wanted to do. That was your option, and you
Right.
chose the option to be here, which is a beautiful thing. And now you're doing your mission work, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. See?
Yeah. It's amazing. No, it's good sharing that with you. I know, like I said, I've just been opened up to it. I let myself open myself up to it and kind of share my story, and that's what I'm doing now.
Mm.
So now I'm
Oh, this is
still
great.
and I'm helping people with a lot of grief. So,
Mm. Wow. Well, thank you, Rob, for being here, man.
oh,
It's
thanks for having me.
yeah, it's a pleasure, and definitely, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much for sharing a positive story.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Have a good night.
You too, Rob. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right, bye.
I'm gonna everyone give Rob a round of applause for coming up here. You see, and I think I have two more people on queue. Let me see. Here's on my queue here. If they're still here, the mighty, and then Robert Robinson. I'm gonna take the mighty person first. Mighty is gonna be on here. We're interviewing a lot of folks here, as always.
Hello.
Hey, Mighty, good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you for having me come up here, Commander.
Yeah,
Um,
and welcome.
I don't know. I'm always unscripted, you know. I guess talk about my considerably Shasta visit for the first time.
Yeah, we want to hear
This
that.
was 10 o'clock. I arrived there. It's a 4 hour trip. I live in Sacramento now, California, and I've
Hmm.
been wanting to go up there. So I finally went up there. It was late at night. Got up there about 10 o'clock at night. 38 degrees and it's freezing. I'm like, why is it so cold? I end up traveling up towards the mountain where I'm on by the glacier side. Like, okay,
Oh
no
wow.
wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I go outside the car, I'm like, oh crap. And not only that, I have no coat.
Oh,
So
you were well prepared, as they say.
oh yes, exactly. So I was expecting to see something like beings. No. What happened to me was the sky opened. The stars was clear. The expanse of the sky was clear.
Hmm.
And the universe, well, the stars, it's a expanse of a rectangle, and the dome of it was all the stars are going inwards on all four quadrant sides of the expanse
Hmm.
of the sky. In this
Hmm.
rectangle area, it was trying to move, but it was fidgeting. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't move, but it was moving. But inside of that square that was doing that, all the stars inside of the area was still moving around and things going on active. But it was so profound for me that it just was like I wasn't expecting
Right.
that. I was
Right.
expecting to see Bigfoot or something again, something.
And they do
And
have Bigfoots up there, believe it or not. Yeah.
well, I heard noises, and then I got started. I was like, okay, let me get back in the car. I don't know what it was. It's totally dark out there, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was my
Yeah.
first visit. It was very nice, very pleasant, and it felt like the area of the town and the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing different than Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It's like people
Mhm.
need to feel this all around the world. They need to.
Now, when you went to Mount Shasta, it was nighttime that you were doing this.
Yes.
Okay. Did when you were there, did you try to go on any trails up into the mountain?
No, not exactly, because it was like I said, I was there prepared, and then it was my first visit, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just like out there. I just had the notion, okay, it's freaking getting late. I should have been out there earlier, but I wanted to go anyways. So I just
Yeah.
did the notion. It was like I had to do it type of thing. That's just how I
Yeah.
do. I get pushed in motion to do things, and I do it. So that's how
Yeah.
that was. And then I
And
slept there that night. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say you slept there that night. What happened?
It was just felt very blissful.
Yeah.
I'm like, then it came down to me, okay, that must be something that I'm going to be doing. I'm a resonator. That's what I'm going to be doing. Sitting around and just bringing the energies down, just connecting,
Mhm.
bringing all the energies. Because I'm ethereal. That's who I am. I'm the Azure King.
Now,
I'm
do you
Khalil,
know?
the Azure King.
Do you know that if you come back to Mount Shasta and talk to some of the local spiritual people there, I know that there's a woman I met many years ago. Her name is Chirula. Shirula Dukes. Shirula Dukes was a woman I met in the early '90s in Woodstock, New York. She spoke with her husband. She is from the city of Telos. So the thing is, the mountain Mount Shasta, at the very top of the mountain, there's an entrance that's guarded on the very top of the mountain if one gets to the top, and that goes into the inner earth. That inner earth entrance goes to the city of Telos. The city of Telos is a city of very slender human men and women, very, very high vibrational frequencies that live in the city of Telos. The city of Telos,
Lemurians?
yes, Lemurians that left
Okay.
the Pacific,
That's what I was
and that is,
expecting
and
to
they
see, but I haven't
translate.
yet.
They are in the city of Telos. So there have been documented stories of them appearing as people tried to go up the mountain. They would appear in like white robes, and they would appear and see them and tell them that they must go back. They are not. It's very well guarded by the space people, so to speak. You can't get in there unless you're supposed to be in there. It's a very different vibrational pattern. But this woman, Chirula Dukes, if you study the word Chirula Dukes, when she would come out of the mountain amongst the society, her body became more not fat, but more weight. When she would go back into the city of Telos, her vibrational pattern would shift and she'd be thinner. So that's why I was asking these questions.
Yeah,
Next time you
dimensional
go,
differences, the differences of your frequencies are different.
yeah, it affects your physical body. So the next time you go there, you should see if you can hook up with some people that are able to go up to Mount Shasta, if you're allowed to, unless the space people say you're not, and they'll appear and show themselves as you're going up the mountain, they will interact with you before they let you even decide to go into the mountain.
Yeah, I've never left my connection with God. I've always been connected
Yeah.
to God's source.
Oh, good.
Always. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I'm learning about myself. Like I said, I am the Azure King. I am the foundation, indigo foundation ray of this universe. That's my higher self. Coming down from that, I'm an angel, Zathkiel. Woohoo. And I'm in my omic state. One of the celestial light council family members. I thought it was Luciferian. No, I'm actually omic. Oh, just defining myself. So it's like going up there. Yeah, that would be a great idea doing that. When I came down the next day, went to a diner in Ann's Inn or something, went there, and I overheard an older couple conversating. And the woman was a medium. And she said the guy wanted to know, kind of like, I'm a stranger in their town. But she picked out why I was there, like history of who I have been with, the reason why I was supposed to be there. Like, wow, I'm overhearing that. Like, wow, that's cool.
Well, Mount Shasta, there's a lot of very tuned in people that live there. How long were you there for?
I was there just for a day at the time.
Just for a day,
10 o'clock that night to the next day, probably about a good 12, 13 hours there.
All right. Well, I mean, you definitely had an experience for sure,
Oh, yeah, I have experiences all the time. I'm always going in, journeying and meditating here at home, going outside. I see myself on the river. I'm Leviathan. I'm Leviathan. My dragon. Me, dragon. I'm Leviathan. But I had a good experience with ducks and stuff earlier. That was fun. I connect with Gaia, Earth, a lot more.
Oh, and good.
Since
good.
I'm an air being. I'm a fire, the flame. So there's a lot of energy that's come through, and then changing the environment's easy for me. I'm just learning what magic is and how to practice it. I've been waiting for this.
The one thing to stay away from, and it depends how you're defining that, just the word magic, is to stay away from anything.
Conscious awareness.
If it's consciousness or higher consciousness, that's one thing. The word magic on Earth has a connotation unrelated to the cosmic galactic spiritual level. So yeah, you might want to switch the word if you're dealing with higher consciousness. That would be more appropriate, at least just based on what you're saying.
Or maybe it could be expressed and explained in a different way.
A different way, yeah. Because magic could be, it has a low vibrational connotation, and you're obviously not doing magic.
And so I'm a bridge builder, so that's one more thing I must help change.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. That's what me. It's what we do. We change. Well, we're only doing for God. Otherwise, I couldn't be here as Mac. I couldn't be here. If it wasn't for God, I couldn't be here. Seriously. I live 5D. Nothing but love energy. That's all I live with. And those who are not with that, they delete it out of my life immediately. That's just how it works.
Well, it's anybody who is basically tuned into a higher purpose, let's say, a positive experience, or is trying to live in a life here to do more positive things. You're not going to want to be around people that are negative or complaining or yelling and screaming, because it defeats the purpose of, plus it drains people when you have to be around people like that, or trains the human being who's spiritually awakened like yourself and others.
No. See, that's the thing. I'm a vortex. I do both. I consume energy. See, when I was a child, I had the thing about wanting to suck people's souls. I don't know what the heck that's about. Learning what it is. I'm a conduit, and I just transmute energy, period. That's what it really is. Anything negative comes to me, and I immediately can transmute it to positive. That's just something I figured out I do. I'm a bridge builder. We're taking what was in 3D and making it better into the 5D realms that we're going into, that we are into now. We're all monkey brain right now. Every human right now living 4D reality, Gaia, or Earth-based fourth dimension. Meaning there are people seeing and hearing a lot more that they never heard about this stuff. They don't know what the heck's going on. So there's people like you with your live here that people come to. I'm experiencing this. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. Because we're in fourth dimension right now. We all are. But we're trying to get to fifth dimension, where nothing is love. the currency there is love. That's it. Everybody just wants to be around each other.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming up here and sharing your Mount Shasta experience. We have a friend of ours, Yaya. She lives in Mount Shasta, and she comes on here. She's really good. And so thank you for sharing. I mean, not everyone's been to Mount Shasta, and we appreciate you, brother. And we thank you for coming on here and sharing your story.
Thank you, guys.
Mighty Mac. All right. And give him a little bit of applause there, folks. And you're watching Encounters. We've been interviewing a lot of different people. Everybody's stories are different, and that's why this show is number one, because we do interview people, we do ask questions, and that's really key. I think it's important for people, and I do ask questions. That's why I do what I do. I thought I saw I'm Shy in here a minute ago. I think I'm Shy was here a minute ago in the room here. I'm Shy, if you're still out there, hello, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I swear I did see her come in here for a minute. And so welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. We want to get to 100,000 likes. We're at 82. If everybody taps on the screen, we will get to that many likes. We definitely will. And we appreciate everybody on here. Everybody's stories are different, and everybody's experiences are different. That's what makes the beauty of the show. From people having abductions to contact with space people, to Bigfoot connections, to the fairies, to the mermaids or the mer people. There's a lot going on out there, a lot going on out there. So welcome to the show. I can't believe it's 1:30 in the morning. Actually, I think we're going to, I lose track of time when I do the show here. Yeah, Michael, the meditation is, it's actually cosmic Christed meditation music. Cosmic Christed meditation music. So if you go on YouTube, look up Christed Conscious or Cosmic Christed meditation ambient music, and you'll find it. And it's really good for meditation. All right. Well, folks, it's been an interesting night. I've been on here since 11:15 p.m. in the evening, and I think it's time to either say goodnight or have one last interview. And if you are over 18, no foul language, no paranormal discussion, no drinking, no smoking, no kids or anything. Kitty Committee, hey, Kitty Committee. This show will be my YouTube channel, so no worries. Lady Links, thank you. No worries. This show is going to be downloaded on my YouTube channel called Ashtar Command Spaceship News. You can also watch all the previous shows on that channel. That is where you can watch them, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, on my YouTube channel. Patricia, actually, let's bring Patricia up now. And Rahman, I do have a story. Rahman, what's your story? And I'm going to bring Patricia up. Rahman, what's your story? Rahman. Yeah, they're still working on you, Jose. But they should be done. They should be done shortly. Yep. Let's see. I'm either going to do 2 more interviews tonight, or I'm going to wait till tomorrow night to do them. I'm just meditating on that right now for a minute. Give me a moment. Jackie F., thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, TikTok. Ramon, they responded. Interesting. Ramon, we'll have you on tomorrow night. I think we're going to, it's 1:38 on the East Coast. It's been about over 2 hours of broadcasting. I think we'll have you on tomorrow evening. please, everybody tap on the screen. That's how the heart thing happens. If everybody does it, we can be 100,000 in like 2 minutes. Yeah, TikTok, as they're working on you, they can work on your lower back too. So yes, work on his whole physical thing on the back, and they'll do it. You can ask them. They're right there. All right, I can see my energy needs to take a break. I want to thank everybody who's been here. We're almost at 100,000. Let's hit it. Come on, everybody, tap. I want every single person to take that finger on the screen and tap. There's 290 people here. We shouldn't have to take that long to get to 100,000. See, I'm proactive. My audience, everybody gets involved. That's the difference between me and these UFO shows on YouTube. We're almost there. We're almost at 100,000. We can do it. Just says my screen went totally white. That's interesting. We're at 98.5. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. We're almost at 100,000, folks. Let's make it happen. After this, I'm going to hang out on April's live. April is Friendship with Fairies 1111. If you want to really, enjoy some really beautiful stuff, go on to April's live. I think she's still on now. It's Friends with Fairies 1111. Hollywood, thank you. Oh, she just ended? Oh, darn it, I missed it. Oh, well, forget that idea. I missed it. I might just stay on for a few minutes to see if she comes on here. If she comes on here, I'll bring her up. So we're going to stay on for a few more minutes to see what happens, maybe. Let me see if she's still online. Well, she's still online. She still has her TikTok on. We'll see if she pops in. It's now about 1:41 a.m. in the morning. Mike Masters, good to see you. Now the commander's just starting to chill out a little bit. 103. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And if you haven't done a gift, now I can't believe it, but I do have 8 more night helmets. So by giving me a night helmet, you're helping me in my goals here, and you're also helping support the program. So if you want to do a night helmet, thank you, Jackie F. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jackie F, for another one. Jackie's been very supportive. Thank you, Jackie. See, you can do that too if you have enough TikTok coins. I need some more of those helmets. I have a couple left. I have 6 helmets left. We have 265 human beings here. Some of you do have TikTok coins. And if you have enough to do the helmet, that will help support me, and I'll wear the helmet for a moment. Jordan, thank you for the marvelous confetti. Finger hearts. Mike Masters, thank you for the finger hearts. Any more people for the helmet? I want to get those off the shelf. Jackie F, thank you for the helmet. Mike Masters, thank you for the roses. We're at 50% of our goal. Big Bopper says, I think I'm a Lyrian, but not entirely sure. We'll have more time on when we're on live and we're on earlier, and we're just starting. I might be able to answer that question. Yes, Vorsatinkas, yes, I can see you. I still have a message for you. Okay. Definitely send me a message on the messenger thing here on TikTok, and I will certainly get it. Absolutely. Welcome all the new people here. We're usually on at 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you're just tuning in or watching, come on tomorrow night at 11, a little after 11. You'll see our show live. And we usually go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So let's see. We've been over 2 hours, almost 3, which is crazy. Let's see here. And we still have a few of those helmets left. We have 5 more helmets left. I need to have 5 people take a helmet and put it on my head. So if you give me a helmet, I'll wear it. It helps my goals. Autumn says it's like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Hey, Autumn. We appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Y'all great. All the new people, all the new followers. Everybody follow each other. Please follow me. If you're not following me now, follow me, of course. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I had a busy night cleansing a lot of things and sending space people everywhere. So my mind is a little bit, I'd say tired. So it looks like on the helmet goal, I'm not making the goal there. I have 6 helmets taken. Any other people have TikTok coins that want to do the helmets? Please do them. We have a couple helmets left there. We don't want any, dust to gain on those helmets. April is still live. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, folks, we can call it a night. I've been just told April is still alive. I want to go visit my sister, hang out with her for a while. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you have not watched April, it's Friendship with Fairies 1111. She is still live, so I've just been told, join me there, hang out. You're going to be totally in beautiful light and love and beautiful energy. So thank you, everybody, for being here. April said she's going in. Is she going back on her live, or is she coming in here? Now I'm confused. Disco, thank you. Am I supposed to thank? Hey, D, you're welcome. Oh, she's on. Okay, I'm going to her live, folks. Take care, everybody. I love you. And thanks for watching Encounters. We'll catch you again tomorrow night. Take care.